Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Oh, good.
Sweet.
We're
Me too.
alive.
Yes, we all are. I mean, we're literally going to a funeral today, but yeah,
That's beside the point.
we're
We're doing good.
okay. We're okay today.
Okay, yeah.
We're okay today. Um, Today we're going to talk about Gone Girls, a Long Island serial killer. I have been obsessed with the Gilgo Girls for a long time because it's been happening for
I
a long time.
did not, I had never really heard of the the Gilgo girls.
Gilgo Beach. Yeah.
Yes. I had never heard of that, but I had heard of Shannon going
Gilbert.
missing.
Yeah.
And
Her mom, good for
I've
her.
only, yes.
Good
But
for
I have
her.
literally only ever heard like on podcasts and TV shows like with just her story.
Hmm.
I've only ever heard like the condensed
Right.
and
Well, because they didn't want to
now
say that it was
she's,
her. Yeah.
still missing. It's like, you know, and
Yeah.
so whenever I was watching this, I was like, "Oh, I've heard this. How is this how is there three episodes to tell me there's no result?" You know? But it's crazy.
You know what's even crazier is that over 13 years ago, the victim, Am was it Amber Costello?
Amber,
Was it Amber?
I should have written down in order the victims.
Yeah. Um, Anyways, because of her, she had a client. These are girls that are sex workers in Long Island, Manhattan, New Jersey, Connecticut, it doesn't matter. They were not taken seriously as missing because they were sex workers. And that right there is an ick factor. What the fuck do you mean that human beings can go missing,
Yeah.
but because of their choice of
I mean,
job,
that still
nobody
happens.
cares? That's
That literally
disgusting.
still
That's
happens.
disgusting. I can't
Yeah.
handle that. Absolutely not.
Meanwhile, the police force is paying for them.
Yeah.
But then they won't
Well,
have to look for them. Come on.
Suffolk County was corrupt in all sorts of ways, and that actually makes sense of why nobody gave a fuck that all those girls were found dead.
Yeah. It just it makes me so sick because it I hear it constantly, like stories like that happening, and I'm in a small town, so you've got a bunch of fucks here. I hear it all the time. It's like taking the trash out, like it's getting the trash off the streets. What?
Yeah, disgusting.
What? What do you mean?
Not allowed.
Um, it's sick.
It is Amber Costello. Her friends were in. They got called. They came and was trying to get this guy out. He was a huge guy, 6'4" ish, really
The man
big, driving.
described them as ogreish.
Yep, with 70s glasses and floppy hair, driving an Avalanche, a
A
Chevy
green
Avalanche.
avalanche.
Yeah,
Like that's specific. How many people have green?
super specific.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 13 years later, when they decide to do a cold case, they find out they already had everything they needed to know then.
Which doesn't surprise me at all.
So all
I
of these could have been solved a long time ago if it wasn't for the police commissioner.
yeah, men not
His name
caring.
was his name was Jimmy Burke, something Burke.
I honestly don't remember, and I think it's because I don't care what his
Yeah,
name.
no, he's a piece of shit. But he didn't want the FBI involved. He didn't want, there was the Gilgo Four is what they
Right.
called the first people that were found. And that happened in the beginning of 2010. So Amber Costello was 27, last seen September 10th. Um, Melissa Bartholomew was 24, last seen July 2009 from the Bronx. Megan Waterman, 22, last seen June 2010 from Maine. And Maureen Barnes, last seen July 2007 from Connecticut. The other victims found was Jessica Taylor, 20, remains found to partial remains found, 2003. Um, she, additional remains found in 2011 near Gilgo. She's from Manhattan. Valerie Mack, aka Jane Doe number 6. She was 24. Identified in 2020. Remains found in 2000 and in 2011. And she was from Philadelphia.
Right.
Peaches, unidentified woman, found in 1997. Torso had a peach tattoo, and that's why she was named that. The rest of her additional remains were found in 2011 at Jones Beach. I don't know exactly where that
Peaches
is.
was always in the story with Shannan, like
Yes.
that I've always heard. So
Um,
I've always known about her.
Baby Doe, child of Peaches, found in 2011. A child. We have a child Doe, and we know who the mom is, and they're both dead.
Sick.
Jane Doe number 7, aka
Hi,
Fire
Tori.
Island Jane Doe, partial remains found in 1996 and matched in 2011. Asian male, identified, believed to be in his late teens, unidentified, I'm sorry, unidentified, believed to be in his late teens or early 20s, found in 2011. Total victims discovers at least 11 sets of remains. And victims include sex workers, unidentified child, and unidentified man. Some may be the work of one killer, other believes lots of them. They found the killer. They had a DNA match, and his name is what was his name?
I was like, I had notes pulled up on my phone and my
Yes,
child just stole my,
Rex Herman
yeah,
is
Rex.
an American architect who was arrested in July 2023 in connection with the Gilgo Beach serial killings.
And
He
he was
lived,
in the public eye, like
yep.
on little like news clips and things like that.
hmm he was born and raised in the same house that he lived in as an adult and raised his children in. He never took care of it. He is an architect, but he doesn't
Well,
build
from what they
anything.
said, not even did he not take care of it, he left it the same as his childhood.
hmm
Like,
To the T.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mind
And
you, he was also abused in that house, but we'll
yeah.
circle back.
He worked every day in Manhattan, so he went from Massapequa Park all the way to Manhattan, Midtown, every day. Um, yeah,
Lots of space between there to
hmm
find and drop bodies off.
yep. He's married and has two adult children who actually now still live in the house with their mother because she filed for divorce, but then um started supporting him. So we're not quite
Then
sure what
supported
she's
him and
being
yeah.
we're not understanding what she has heard from him or from the lawyers. He has not gone to trial yet, but there is without a shadow of a doubt that he murdered four of these girls. There is
Right.
DNA linked evidence. DNA
Right.
linked evidence.
And
And it cannot be his oldest son. His oldest son is actually adopted by him. It's his wife's biological son with a different child, and his dad lives in Iceland. So there is no actual match to that. So don't try to hypothesize on that because that's just
right.
insanity. We don't understand what the wife is doing
I
there.
don't understand because, you know, if you're gonna stick up for him, like the only reason why like that immediate divorce to me is like I believe that he's guilty and fuck that, I'm not involved in that. So of course I'm gonna divorce him.
Oh
But
my
then you're
God, I totally
supporting
thought
him.
something different. I thought that she was trying to divorce him so that she can get the property and stuff like that in her name. Like, to like switch it, you know?
Huh.
You didn't think of
See,
that.
it didn't make sense to me at all because I'm like, the first thing that comes through my mind is if you don't believe that he did it, then you would want to stay married because of, isn't there like some sort of law of like you can't or don't have to out your spouse or whatever. Like there's some
Yeah,
sort of law.
Meryl, um, Jesus Christ, it's on the tip of
I'm
my
like, I
tongue.
can't think of it.
It's spousal privilege. Sorry,
Yes.
spousal privilege. So
Yes.
you
So
cannot
at
testify
first,
against your husband or wife
right.
in court,
So at
but
first
she
I thought
divorced.
that if she divorced him, she wanted to testify. That so I was like,
You
"Oh,
you
okay."
can testify. You are not object to have to
Right.
testify.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is that is so confusing because if you don't believe that he did it, why would
Right,
you give up that the privilege of not having to testify against it? You
right,
know what I mean? Like then you're going through a divorce. Does that law just like stay in place because you were married at the time of his crimes? Or I don't know.
I don't know either.
It doesn't make sense to me. I understand not wanting to believe your father or husband is capable of that.
Oh my
But
God,
when you see the
if
cold
someone
hard
told me that
facts,
if someone told me that Braden was a serial killer, I'd be like, when? When?
right? Right?
When does he have time to do this? When he's at work?
Although maybe he's not really a firefighter.
Maybe he's not a firefighter.
Maybe when you visit him at the fire station,
He
he's just
just
like
drugged
he's got
everybody
buddies
and
there. Yeah.
yeah.
He's got buddies there that just like help him
And when that
out.
alarm goes off, he actually jumps in the truck and drives away. Oh,
Yeah.
weird. Maybe he is a serial killer.
But see, the thing is like all of a bunch of these serial killers that have families that we keep seeing, like the Fox Hollow murders and stuff,
Hmm.
they send their wives and kids out of town.
Which
They don't
a
go out
lot
of town, they send the family out of town.
they do come out of they do, but they say, I have to
Well,
work. So why don't you go ahead and I'll meet you there?
right. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it would be a red flag. How often are you out of town without your husband? With like,
Right. Right. My husband has been on maybe two vacations without me in
okay,
the
well, you
10
got, yeah.
years that we've been together.
Oh, yeah.
But
Tyler does one guy's golf trip a year with like the high school buddies. And after that, I'm like, if you're taking any more time off work, like you're taking your wife.
yeah, and your child.
Well,
Brittany,
not, I'm a stay-at-home mom. If we're going on vacation, girl,
yeah,
that could be separate. There's a family
you
outing and
have
then a vacation. A vacation is not
no,
what you
you're not listening. When you go on vacation, it's really good for everybody involved. It really is. It's
but you're not
parenting in
listening. I need two separate ones. I need a childless one, and
I
then we do an adventure with child.
I understand that, but I actually love traveling with my toddler. She's literally my ride or die. She is down for everything. You just have to drop your expectations. But we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we are. That's a different
So
episode.
yeah. So let's go back to the timelines, which Shannan Gilbert still has not been found.
But I will say she is in some sort of multiple ways
I'm sorry,
affected
I'm
here.
sorry. Yes, she had been found. She had not been linked to Rex
Right.
Herman.
But I think
All
it's
of her
because they
clothes were
just
found miles apart, very different. She's the one that even brought up all this information to begin with.
they're
It,
telling her mom that she was running
through
and
the marsh. Yeah,
right. And they take their clothes off, like you take your clothes off when you are what?
running. Yeah.
No, when you have hypothermia. Sorry. Something that
That
happens.
could, yeah, that could happen is what
Right.
they're saying. What they think happens is that she was running, he got her, took off her clothes, and
Yeah.
then she got away again and then end up dying
Okay. Yeah.
is what I think happened. May 1st, 2010, Shannan Gilbert, 23-year-old expert, escort disappears after making a frantic 911 call in Oak Beach, claiming someone was trying to kill her. December to 2010. While searching for Gilbert, police discovered remains of four women near Gilgo Beach, referring them to the Gilgo Four. March and April 2011, six additional sets of remains were found along Ocean Parkway in Suffolk and Nassau counties.
These bodies were all found while trying to only locate Shannan.
The one girl, because her
Right.
mom was not giving up. And I kudos to
Her
Mary
mom is,
Gilbert.
yeah.
That's right.
Like if I was a
Absolutely.
family member of one of
I
those
would
other
be,
women,
yeah, I'd be fucking
which
proud.
they were all like,
Yes, yes, but good
but she
for
was like,
her. Absolutely. You want to kill for your child. And if your child's
yeah,
not there, you do whatever you can. I love that for
exactly.
her. She did not actually get to even see the end of this or know anything. She happened to pass early on, and that really fucking sucks. But we're here for you, Mary. If you hear us, whatever, you did a fucking good thing. December
Yes.
2011, Shannan Gilbert's remains were found in the marsh about a half mile from where she disappeared. Authorities suggest that she may have died from accidental drowning, but her family disputes this. Same. We all agree.
Even if she was running from someone and drowned because of
It's
that,
their
that's not
fault.
accidental.
No, that's their fault.
Someone is chasing you and wanting to murder you. Like that's not
Absolutely.
accidental.
July 2023, Rex Heuermann, 59 years old architect from Massapequa Park, arrested and charged with the murders of three of the women, Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello.
Yeah.
Um, His name is also a prime suspect in Maureen Barnes. Uh, in 2024, Herman was charged with two additional murders, Jessica Taylor and Sandra Costello. In 2024, December, Herman faces seventh murder charge of death of Valerie Mack because her hair was found in his house. Wasn't that right? I'm trying to remember.
His, it was her or no, his hair was found on her, I thought.
No, that
Like they
was
collected hair from the
yeah,
crime
that
scene.
that was Melissa, I believe.
Oh, okay.
That's how they found that they had evidence, obviously, and DNA evidence, but they didn't have anyone to link it to because they didn't know who the hell they were looking for.
Right.
Um, as of
Oh, his belt.
that's right, his fucking
I
belt.
forgot about the belt. They found his belt that had her hair on it. Was that
Yes, to someone.
okay?
Yeah,
I was like, wait, there was a belt.
there was a belt. Anyways, they did he obviously he was using burner phones and fake whatever. These girls were escorts on Craigslist trying to make their fucking money. You know, I I I I have never been put into a position where I had to sell my body for money.
Right. And I can't fathom having to get to that point.
Right. And we're the lucky ones. And some people choose that
Yeah.
for their actual careers, and that's fine too.
Yeah,
I
if
was
it's chosen,
yeah,
do your
I
thing.
was
You know.
I was watching something and the girl said, "Look, I live in Southern California and I was waitressing and I was making less money than when I just showed my boobs on OnlyFans."
Yeah. I think it says a lot more about the men making these women millionaires sometimes on OnlyFans to see their boobs. Like, come on. You
Boobs
know?
are boobs, dude.
But hey, good for them if
Yeah, you do you, boo boo.
cash wild. Please, please get down. You're driving me crazy. Come on.
Um,
Ah, get off the table. Come on.
yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. His name was James Jimmy Burke, and he was, yeah, he's a problem. He's a real fucking problem. He actually went to prison. But he definitely blocked the FBI from assisting in early stages of the case. Some speculated he did so to protect himself or others, but there's no direct evidence linked to the murders. Um, he it's really sad because now you have all these people that are like wanting to open up all this stuff and it's late, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Like the amount of cases and lives that he
when they found
delayed
the
and
Gilgo Ford, they should have just said FBI is stepping in. Get over it.
literally. Yeah.
You found four. That's a serial killer. Can this police department handle a serial killer? Have you ever dealt with a serial killer? No. There's four bodies. And then you kept finding more when you're looking for one girl.
I truly believe that when a police department declines help from FBI, especially in
They're
a
hiding
scenario like
something.
this,
They shouldn't be out.
immediately there should be an investigation on that police department.
Yes, they should not be able to decline help from the federal government. I'm
No,
sorry. That's who
no.
you work for them. So it should not be
Yeah.
can we help? No,
Yeah,
get
I
the
don't
fuck out of
understand
here.
because I was always under the assumption that if the FBI was gonna investigate, they were just
It,
gonna tell you.
yeah, and I was always under the assumption that if it was in different states, which all those girls were, where they're from, FBI automatically stepped in. Why did he even get an option to say no?
You know, I don't know, but I always see so often with like different states and things, different police departments like won't work with each other.
Yes.
Like
And
even if
look how good that's going for everybody.
exactly.
People are fucking failing left and right, and
But is
mistakes have
it
been
that
made too many times.
is it that they're fa like do they believe they're failing or do they genuinely not care? Like they don't,
They want the recognition, the rec my God, words. They want
the recognition,
the recognition.
the recognition.
Thank you
Well,
for solving that crime.
yeah,
If you have other people's helping you, you kind of get stepped to the back because if they're saying FBI found, then they're like, what?
right.
But
But
it
to
doesn't
me,
matter.
if
It
that
does
was
not
like a
matter.
family member of mine, I would be
I
praising
don't
the
care.
police
Yeah.
department for calling in the FBI.
Yes.
Like I would much rather you guys have help than
Totally.
to never have answers. Like, and I feel like also
Mhm.
I'm confused by why people go into this line of work if their goal isn't to get things solved no matter what. Like, I don't give a shit if I'm the one that finds the murderer or if someone else does. Like, they're found, and like part of what I did helped that is
Yeah.
how I feel like they should be feeling. But I
Yeah.
don't know.
I I think that it should be just standard practice for every police department, especially in the USA, to have someone looking over your shoulder, not only to make sure everything's going the way it should, but to help.
Honestly, there should be like random audits.
Ooh,
Like
I
not
like
even
that.
money wise. Like I
Yeah.
mean like
No, like
you go in and
police department audits. Yeah. But
like
I mean,
see
but that's also
like a secret
saying,
shopper almost.
right.
Like
You
get
can
an
tell
insight. Like
she worked for a restaurant if you can't tell. But that's also saying that we don't trust our police departments, which we should be able to. There are there are a
I
lot
think
of really good departments, but there are really shitty people.
I think in the masses you can trust. I would like to think. I guess I can't say you can for sure in the masses trust police departments, but I would like to think so. But in every single police department, there is going to be at least one bad cop. You know what I mean?
Apple.
Like one
Yeah,
bad guy.
there always is. Even in fire
And if
departments,
there's at
even
least
in
one, like they just
er,
trickle, like they
yeah.
pass it on. And so I think every police department has this corruptness in one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like some are more
Right.
extreme, but
It's just
every police department should be.
it's very sad because he literally could have been caught earlier, hopefully.
You know what I couldn't help but notice is as soon as a woman stepped in place,
Oh yeah.
and that's when
The
shit,
district attorney, yeah.
yeah, that's when shit started getting rolling
And
and
then she
one
stepped
actually
down and she
cared
said,
about these women. Like,
yeah, and she stepped down and she said, "You know what? I was heartbroken stepping down because I didn't solve this case. The next
right.
guy came in and he fucking picked up the
And
pieces
he
and he
took
did
it.
it.
Yeah.
He did the damn thing. They
Yeah.
started a cold case thing. They went back from square one. And the reporter literally said they've done more in 6 weeks than they did in the 12 years
Yeah.
that they had this case.
That's how you know that it was intentionally neglected, though. Like,
Well, they also didn't have all the pieces put together at that time. The first
yes.
couple, I mean, you can give some sort of leeway for each way, but it doesn't matter. Like, everybody counts, everybody matters. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what your fucking occupation is. I stay at home. Am I nothing? I don't do
Right.
anything. I
Yeah.
raise a child.
They
Am I
did
nothing?
sex work, but how many of them had children?
I do
I
sex
mean,
work with my husband all the time. Let me
what?
say,
Stop. That's,
he pays my bills. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell me I'm wrong, Brittany. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, no,
And do you
but
partake as well? Absolutely, you do. Absolutely.
that doesn't, yeah, I agree. That doesn't,
Doesn't
make
matter.
someone not,
No.
but they do that with children too,
Yeah.
teens,
Mm.
you know? And honestly, they do it sometimes with stay-at-home moms. They're like, she was overwhelmed. Did you see all these texts to her friends venting about her child? Like, she probably just took off. Like,
Everyone matters. Everyone needs to be accountable for everything, and everybody has their day in court.
yeah,
Until the end of
hopefully.
Rex Heuermann's case, we will be back, I'm sure. But until
Yeah.
then, bye.
Bye.